Am I worried about AI, bro? Nah, not in the least, because you got to think about it. It can't have the experiences that a real person has. It can't do what a real person can do. It can't go out and experience the world. So the only thing that it can do is take from like your experience, and it could twist it around and make it sound good. Like I know there's this one artist that's completely AI, and I actually saved one of the songs because I was like, you know what the hell, it's a good song, so I'm gonna save it. Made like two or three albums, and I'm just listening to the albums. I'm like, yo, these are pretty good. Like this is all AI. Like I'm surprised. But where are they getting that realism from? Where are they getting that from? You got to realize now you're talking to a creator, like somebody that thinks of everything on his own. And I do use AI. It does become a part of my day when it comes to making apps. So that's the only time I really use AI. Everything else, like when I write skits, when I write those little things, that's all me. And those are from my real experiences and how I felt during those times. So when they talk about AI taking jobs, it's like, no, if they're taking jobs, it just means that your job was crappy. You had a crappy job, dude. You had a job that a robot could do. And people should start looking for jobs that robots can't do and really focus on that, because me and my boy was talking about this, and he actually went on strike. His company went on strike because they're auto AIing their workflow, and so it's just like it's a whole shipyard that is ran by AI. And he's saying like, well, I'm losing my job here. That's not fair. And I'm like, your job just was so easy that a computer could have done it. So why would you want to do it? If a computer could do it, why won't you just like pass it up and just look for something else that you should you should find something else. And I know that they are pushing us to find those different things, to create different things, because like what I push upon very heavily is free time. When you have free time, that's when you shine. No other way can you work without some free time, because people that can't sit still for a little bit and let themselves get bored, those are the people that are complaining about AI, because they want something easy to do so that their mind can be preoccupied and they can make money off it. And we're saying that it's going to get harder, dude. Like you can't sit there and push a cart for 8 hours a day. Like that's nothing for you. I'd rather you be on a computer and you're doing work on the computer, you're working for a company, and then you have an idea in your head and you're like, yo, I could really do this. And you write it down on your little notepad and things take off from there. We want people to get back into their homes. We don't want people out there just dilly dallying for no reason. You know what I mean? So, am I worried about AI? Not really. Like you can't have my experiences. My experiences are crazy, and it gets even crazier because, not condoning this, but I did recreational drugs, and that really painted a whole new picture. And if you have a robot that does the right thing every single time, it's never going to create anything. It's never going to be natural. It's never going to evolve. It only evolves as we evolve. You know what I mean? So it has a stop gate. It can't go any further than what we put into it. And there was this manga about these robots, and you know, humanity died out basically on the continent or on the earth, and basically the humans were circling the earth, and the robots had to bring them back down when the earth was more manageable, because they destroyed the earth. Basically they made it inhabitable. So they waited, the robots waited until it was habitable, and then they were going to call them back down. But the robots had a decision to make. Either they don't bring the humans down, that's an option, that they have, but they were like, if we don't bring the humans down, we're not going to evolve. We're just going to die out. And they had to make a decision on whether they would bring the Earthlings back to Earth or let them die, because all they do is start wars. You know, the reason why the planet became inhabitable was because they started a war, and that war led to them having to put themselves in cryostasis and got shot into the atmosphere to wait for the Earth to be more habitable. And that's essentially what happens. Like, these robots, they can't go as far as we can let them go. You know what I mean? They can only go that far, and they can't go any further. They need us. So you're needed. You're absolutely needed. But I get it. It's because, like, the jobs that they have, like, I was looking for jobs, and I was looking for legitimate jobs. I was like, yo, look, listen, I'm looking for a legitimate job. I went on Microsoft Copilot. I was like, I'm looking for legitimate work at home jobs, because I'm always looking for money. You know what I mean? And it was telling me, it was like, yo, look, listen, the only jobs that you do have are AI testers, and you do little tasks, and then you go through websites and you write up reports on the website. And I stopped right there, because I was like, I don't want to write a freaking report. And they were talking about how you can get fired easily, and it's very hard to do. Like, the jobs that AI is creating are very hard, and only certain people can do them. And that's why people get scared, because they're like, I just want to push carts. Why won't you let me push carts? We can't let you sit there. We have to think about something else. And the other thing that we can think about is doing jobs from home. Like, think about jobs that you can do from home. Like, what if we paid you enough that you can own a house, and in that house you have like a mini warehouse, and you ship out boxes for the company, and you do that? What if you had Amazon in your house? What if we did that? So you got to start thinking outside the box. You can't keep getting scared of everything. You got to start thinking outside the box. That's how they created stuff. You know, I know you're saying like Elon basically cheated. Like, electric cars were definitely going to be the future, especially with global warming. Once people said global warming, they're like, "Oh, we got to get something. We got to get something." And Elon was there to take advantage of that situation. You might say that, hey, that's super easy. Those things were there, and he's just taking advantage of the time and opportunity. But you're expecting us to create something out of nothing. And it's pretty scary. It is pretty scary. Like, for me, I'm creating all this stuff, and I'm sitting here looking at myself. I'm like, yo, where are you getting these ideas from? You know what I mean? It's like, yo, I don't know where you're getting these ideas from, but they are fire. And I'm sitting here writing them down. I'm just like, yo, that's crazy. But even Michael Jackson said that the way he got his songs was through his sleep. He would go to sleep, and then he would hear the song, and then he would wake up, and he would play that song right again. And he's a big believer in God, and he said that the only reason why he got those songs was because God gave it to him first. And that means he could give it to Prince next, and Prince could get that song. And that's what he was saying. He was like, the only reason why I get up in the middle of the night and I get everybody ready to create a song is because what if Prince got it next? And that's what it feels like for me. It's just like all these ideas that I have, I'm thinking like, why hasn't anybody thought of these ideas? Like, these are great ideas. Like, I have a calendar app that I created, and it's real simple. It's just a small little tweak to it to make it more workable and more engaging. And I'm gonna send these apps out. I'm gonna be like, oh, look, this is what I've been doing on my free time. Like, you guys are wondering, what do I do as a disabled individual? What does a disabled dude do? And that's what I'm gonna show you, bro. That's what I'm gonna show you. I'm just gonna show you because I think I have a total of 3 to 4 apps that I've thought of. All I have to do is publish them, and I could work on them while they're published. You know, people can play around with it and do what they want to do with it. That's perfectly fine. I have absolutely no problems with that. But, you know, it's always about stepping outside of your comfort zone. And I'm getting more comfortable with the idea that, yo, you should start sharing this stuff, especially my books. My books, I'm really proud of them. I haven't worked on it for a little bit because I've worked on it nonstop for like 2 or 3 months, nonstop. I was just reading, editing, and I finally bought an editor. And there's 2 editing softwares that I want to use, but Grammarly is very, very expensive. Like this stuff is not cheap, guys. To do all this stuff is not cheap. Like it costs money. So anywhere I can get a freebie, like even Instagram, I don't even think I'm gonna keep paying for Instagram. Like that is getting a little bit too expensive. Like I'm drowning right now. And I have to buy different products to keep up with my mind. You know, it became that. It's just so cool now. Like I have no qualms about it. Like, you know, there's sometimes where it's a little bit stressful and things aren't working out the way that I want them to, but I have to just work through them and really see the light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm just gonna end it there. My bad for being so chaotic in the beginning. I couldn't get my words out, but I got my words out at the end. So this one turned out to be a good one. And like I said, I always like to record everything that goes on, everything. Like I want it to be completely raw because I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, who listens to like a person's whole day? You know what I mean? Like, you don't get bored of your whole day. What if somebody watched your whole day? And then that's when you have to start thinking about aliens. And it's just like, maybe an alien would watch my whole day because other humans aren't doing it. We're not doing it. Nobody's listening to my podcast. Nobody's watching my videos. I have 2 or 3 friends that watch my videos, and I'm sitting here wondering to them, I'm like, all you have to do is like them. You don't have to really watch them. Like, but they be watching it and they be coming back to me. They were like, yo, you said some shit about me. And I'm just like, oh, my bad. I don't even remember what I recorded. But yeah. I don't remember what I record. I record a lot, but there's just like there's just ways to compartmentalize my ideas and everything that's flowing through my head right now. One is making apps, 2 is writing books, 3 is recording podcasts, 4 is making videos. All that stuff combines to help me stay sane, I guess. Writing especially. I love writing. Writing is tough though. Writing is real tough. Like sometimes you get bad days where you just like, I just wrote 2 sentences. And then next time you write like 9 pages and then you just like, yeah. This is what I like to do. This is what I like to do. But sometimes it's rough, dude. I created a new app today. So I'm going to put that in my AI and see how that works out. But am I worried about AI? No, bro. It's a tool. Stop being scared of your tools, bro. And just make sure you try to be as original as possible. That's about it. That's about it, bro. These are tools to help you be more independent. And I think that's what people are scared of. They're scared to be independent. They're scared because they have a job that pays them $150,000 and that job can be taken away by a robot. They're scared because they're like, I don't know what else I'm going to do. What am I going to do? You know, doctors seem to have it good, but their life sucks. Like sometimes they don't know what's going on. Like I can attest to that. Sometimes they have absolutely no idea what's going on. Absolutely no idea what's going on. And if a robot can take their place, it would. But to deal with humans, you need compassion and you need understanding and you need to be able to solve problems. But I've seen doctors fail at that multiple times. I've seen doctors fail and they don't know what they're really doing. But there's some of them that they have a good idea and they go with it and hopefully it works out for them, you know. And this turned out to be 15 minutes, of course. Of course. I'm just gonna throw this into the podcast thing, bro. Sorry for making this so long. I hope you guys have a great day. Right now it's 10 o'clock and it's on a Thursday. Tomorrow I have a doctor's appointment. I gotta get my injection. Transparency, guys. Transparency. That's what I'm going for. Hell yeah, bro. All right, guys. Peace out.